Today we're going to translate 佛说庄严菩提心经. There's only one role or fascicle to this sutra. This particular sutra is from 大正藏, the Tripitaka with Creative Commons copyright, courtesy of CBETA. You may be drawn to certain Buddhist texts more than others. I have affinities with the Avatamsika Sutra, 华严经. There's an entire section of the 大藏经, the Tripitaka, Tripitaka, three baskets, 三藏. In there is a 华严部 where there are 华严 sutras and commentaries, 华严经, 华严书 of various kinds. I chose this particular sutra because it was in 华严部 in the 华严section of the Tripitaka. You may want to check to see which sutras and commentaries and preset guides have already been translated. Look into the ones that have yet to be translated because there are many. See the link below where I have a list of translations that have been done and have not been done according to the Tripitaka. I should probably update that this year. I haven't updated for some time, but the link is there in case you want to do a rudimentary check. I want to walk through as I translate the sutra some steps in preparation before translating. What are some of the steps when you actually put words to paper, and then reviewing your draft, your translation work. Finally, the editing and proofreading part. Of course, there's a final stage of seal of approval on the translation itself. The translation is from Chinese to English. 佛说庄严菩提心经. The Buddha speaks of the enlightened mind that is adorned. This particular sutra was translated by Kumarajiva. So I will just walk through and use a different font for the English and translate line by line. Before we actually begin translating, though, I would say there are 5 basic steps. First is to meditate. For you to access inherent nature of wisdom and compassion as a translator allows your inner guide to lead you to the right text, the right words, the right phrasing, and meditate whenever you need some guidance and help anywhere along the way. That would be the first step. The second step would be to find the text that you want to translate. So for instance, here I found this very short sutra really because there is only one fascicle, 一卷, one roll in Chinese, and I found it at CBETA, as I said. That's CBETA. I'll provide a link below. The use of ancient Buddhist texts from this University of Taiwan site under the Creative Commons copyright. Since this sutra is no longer extant in Sanskrit, Chinese to English translation is best. Where the sutra extant in Sanskrit still exists in Sanskrit, then a translation from Sanskrit to English while reviewing the Chinese version may be appropriate. The third step is to keep in mind that while you will go through several iterations of a translation work, at the minimum, classic Buddhist translators go through these 4 stages: draft translation, review, editing and proofreading, and finally the seal of approval by someone qualified to verify the value of a particular translation. Back to the 5 preparation steps. The 4th step, read the entire Buddhist text. If you have not studied the text, similar genres, commentaries on the text that you're translating, at the least read it to get a general feel for it. You will notice different ancient translators and different texts diverge in tone, style, rhythm, and flow, consistency, phrasing, texture, complexity, and other linguistic uses that we may want to discuss in the future. And the fifth step in preparation for beginning translating a Buddhist sacred text is to translate as if you were writing for an audience that you want to have understand everything. So language that is understandable and clear. You don't want to be a literal translator, but you don't want to be so figurative with a classic religious text either. So keep a general theory on your translation language in mind as you draft the initial words.